What I'm going to do first thing first for the Dynamo, this free online lesson, I'm going to create the script, one of the script here that is changing the layer that you can easily do by using the Dynamo. And then the next one, we're going to see how we can use the Dynamo Player and then use some of the existing scripts that have been provided by the Autodesk. So why do I want to create this script that is for changing the layer? Is very, if you see that here, we have two methods to change those layers. If any element that you have created inside the AutoCAD or inside the CV3D, you can either use the layer translator, or you can also use them by clicking each one of those elements that you wanted, and then you select the new layer that they have to be belong to. But with the method one, it will you have to do that with the 7 clicks. With the method 2, you have to do that with the 4 clicks. But with the if you have lots of the drawing with thousands of the layers, for instance, it could even take up all this for you to do that. So let's get simplify that work inside the Dynamo. So what I'm going to do now is that I have this one very simple project because we're going to create a very simple one first, the Dynamo tip, so that you can get the understanding on the foundation of how the Dynamo works. If you go on to manage here, if we go to manage here, and then on the top where we have the Dynamo and also the Dynamo Player. So you see that under the visual programming. For the Dynamo Player is that if any script that we have created, so we can just play them using this Dynamo Player. For the first time creating the Dynamo, we created them inside the Dynamo. I'm going to click on this Dynamo Studio. All right, so over here, you can see that you can create a new one, or you can open them, or you want to create your own instruction. For the new one here, we're going to use the existing instruction, or we call that as a node. So we're going to click on a new. So I'm just going to use the existing instruction because that is very much easy for today free online lesson. Right, so this is the interface for the Dynamo Studio. And over here, you can see that because we are currently open the Dynamo from the Civil 3D, so you can access all the instruction, the node, we call that the nodes from the AutoCAD and also Civil 3D. I have previously do Dynamo for Revit. So if you want to see that, you can go to our YouTube channel and then find the Dynamo for Revit. Okay, so for now, so over here, if you go to the drop down here, you can find all the instructions that you want to select them for each one of them. So if you see them like this, this is the node, the instruction that you can put into the studio. So we're going to select first for selection the document. So I'm going to go for the document here. I'm going to use the current document, meaning that we're going to select, we're going to play this Dynamo inside the current open document. And then after that, I'm going to go for selection. And that will be all object on layer. So I'm going to select this. So another one here, I'm going to select also on document just now, but now I have to have the model space. Okay. So this is meaning that over here I'm going to select for object on layer, and then this is for document model space, meaning that more document model space, your working space will be your current document. So we're going to connect them here to here. So when we connected them, whenever we are working to play here, we will play on the current open document. Before I further, let me just change this automatic into the manual. And the reason why, if you created a very large script, a very long script, when you create for automatic, anything can go wrong and that will cause the crash. So I just want to run them manually. I want to run them manually here. So let's just, so you can see that for each box here, you can move them around. There is nothing wrong moving them around. That will not cause any error. So don't worry about moving them around. Okay, so for the next one, what I'm going to do is that for here, whenever you forward to each one of these elements of this input, out and output here, you can see that what kind of information that they needed. So this needed the block, meaning that we have to not connect block to block here. If I go here, I have see that this needed the document, this document, the string, meaning that you need to have the text input. All right, so for here, I'm going to select for layer here by using the text input. Just now I mentioned the string text input. So this will be what kind of layer that we want to change. So for instance here, let me just go from my CV3D model. So I want to change, let's say that we're going to change this, all the layer with this element on this layer. C topo line to a new layer. So that will be, I want to put them under the C topo only. So let's go and rename on the code block here. For the existing one, we have to use, we have to naming the existing one, and you just go that, and then you want to connect them again, layer with this. All right, so the next one is that the block, just now I mentioned blocks need to be with the block here. So we're just going to connect them with the block. So the workflow will be from the current document, it will be our working space. And from our working space, we want to select a specific block, and it will go to all the objects on that block from this layer. And then the next one is that we want to set them to the new layer. So from here, it will output to the new layer. So we're going to go for set layer. Right. So another way is that if, let's say, if you have using this, is if doing this a bit difficult for you because you have to go toggle each one of them, you can actually type in from this box. So let's say here, I want to have a set layer. So I just type in set layer here, and it will come out with this. All right. And then you can just click on that, and then it will open again on here. So this one, object with the object, and then we want to set to the new layer, so we have to name them again. So if we want to use the code block here, the naming here, the string, you just can double click on your working spaces, and this will come. Right, so let me just name this. Just now I said that I want to put them under the new C topo. So if I go to my home here, under my layer properties, all right, so I have the new, just now I mentioned over here under the C topo. So I want to put those elements under this layer then. So I'm going to type in that name as well. All right, and then after that we can simulate, we can connect them to this element. All right, so the last one is that this is all done. This is all done, but the last one what we want to do is that now we want to click on play. If we don't click on a play, that will not be run. So let me just show again. Just now this is under C topo line. C topo line. Yeah, this element is also under C topo line. All right, so if I go escape, and then this also C topo line. So once I click on run, and then I click again on this element, is now under the C topo. So it have changed to the new layer. So if I click again on the next one, this also been renamed on the C topo. So all the elements on C topo line have been moved to the new layer. And then the good thing about doing this Dynamo, just now you must see that there's a lot of things here. There's more than 4 clicks compared to if you do that manually. But actually, this is only for setting up them at the first place. And after that, after you save them and then open them for the other project, it's just about 1 click to click here. It's just about 2 click, where you just have to change the name for your layer, the existing layer, and also the new layer that you want to set up, and then run. Is actually 3 click, but 3 click for all the elements on that one layer. All right, so now what we're going to do is that I just want to show you how we can properly organize this code that we have done. Okay, so this might be a bit difficult for a new person who see this script that don't know what this doing is. So we can actually group them and then document them accordingly. So if I select this document and this document by using the shift on my keyboard to select more than one element here, and then I right click on them, I can create the group, and after that I can rename them. So it is easier for the next person to actually working on this document. So let's say this will be select document, project document. And then I'm going to select this with this also using the shift, and then create another one group. Right, so now we can edit the color and also the title sizes. So if I click again, right click them, and you can see that I can change the appearance of this group. So let's say that it will be easy if it is a different kind of color, and then also you can change the title name here, the title sizes. So let's say this will be the existing layer. So I'm going to toggle them up, and I'm going to select these two. So let me just put them again. Select these two. And put them create group again. And let's change the color again. And then this will be a new layer. So it will be easier if the next person needed to do that. They will just have to change from here. Basically, what we always change is that from the code block. Code block is very, you can change the output here for the next one. And then after you have done this, all right, so what we can do next is that we can actually save. Just now I mentioned that you can save this script. So if I go to the top here on the file, and then I can just click on the save as here for the new one. All right, so you can put them as a Dynamo, so it is easier later if you want to work them on the Dynamo Player. So let me just rename this new layer here. Let me just put them under another one, new layer. All right. So we done new one script. That's it. That's pretty easy. All right, so what I want to do next is that we want to see first the Dynamo Player, wherever the Autodesk has provided the script here. So I'm going to go to Dynamo Player. So this is where we play the one that we have created, the Dynamo script. So you can see that this is some of the samples that have been provided by the Autodesk. Okay, so you can see that either you have the option to edit those text inside the Dynamo. You can either edit the input. If there is any input, you can just click to check. If there is no, it will show here. All right, and then you can play them after that. All right, so for instance here, we want to add the text and the circle along the corridor feature line. So this will add the vertices, the elevation, the side elevation. So if I click on edit in Dynamo to see what kind of scripting that they have done here and what we can change here. So you just click on edit the Dynamo just now. Let me just hide this. So let me just open this. All right, so let me just toggle over here. So you can see that they are nicely being grouped. This is where we get the feature line. So they define where they want to position those text. And then this might be the one that we want to edit, the create text, and also circle in CV3D. So if I zoom in, okay, so over here, if let's say you don't know what is this doing is, again, as I mentioned, if you hover here, it will show what kind of input this is, but might not be that helpful sometimes. But you know that here there is a number, amount, layer of nesting to remove. So that will be 3 layer that will remove that. Okay, so but here is the position. This is the text string from the object. So this is the position of the text letter when we click on a play. And then the layer here means that when we want to put on those text, it will be put on this layer. It will create the new layer to populate with those text. And then if I go down for the circle again, same. So code block play a very important role here. So the radius, if you are putting them as a text again, you have to put this what we call that, the opening here. But if you put the number, for instance, the radius will be with the 2 here. If you hover here, okay, so you can see that the input is either the default value will be 1. So this unit will be according to your file unit setup, right? So this will be on 2. So if you want to change some, just directly put in, let's say I'm going to go for a bigger radius 4, directly type the new radius that you want to use. Don't worry about changing these code blocks. It's basically changeable. So let's say that for the text layer, for the new layer, just want them to be put on text layer 1 here. Similar for the circle. Text layer 1, so you can just change some. Don't worry about that. All right. And then after that, after you have done that, you can click on the play here, either here on or the Dynamo Player. So let me just click on run here. Oh, it's loading a bit. All right, so that is the one that have been created. You can see that it will be input with the vertices, and then this is the circle, the text here that read about the side elevation. Let me just close here. Okay, I'm not going to change this. So let me just go again, Control Z here to show you before. Okay, so this is before. Just now, when we go for the Dynamo Player. So I'm just going to show again. Here, this is the before one. And then after that, I can just click on the play on the top here, the same one, adding the text and circle so that you can see that that is what it will show you. All right, so now it has completed, and then you can see that this is will be with the two circle radius just now. All right, so another one just now, I mentioned that we can use the one that we have saved the Dynamo script into the new one. So let me open again this new project. So this is the new project. So if I want to bring them, similarly, if I go back to the Dynamo Player. All right, so let's say that over here, we're going to change this layer by using the one that we have created. So I'm going to go to the Dynamo Player, and then you can see on the top here where we can browse to the folder where we have created or saved our file, the Dynamo just now. So let me just go into the one that I have created and saved just now. I think it will belong into the download here. Right, so inside the Dynamo file. So you see that I have a couple of the Dynamo that I have created here, and then this is the one that we created just now, that new layer. So we can edit the input. So that will be a 0 layer. Oh, let me just go to edit in Dynamo just now. Same. Right. So when you open them on the other project, you see that it's same how you save them just now, where you can also play them on the different project here. So if I zoom in again, all right, I just want to show you that it works on the other project as well. So this one for the existing layer, that is the 0. Is that the 0? And then let's say that I want to put them home again, and then we're going to set the new layer here. Right, so we're going to create the new layer. So let me just rename this into and then after that I can just put in onto the new layer sim. And I just click on a play. All right, so that's pretty much how you can change them. And then just now, let me just go, is this one? Yep, now is under the Xenox. So it works how for the other project as well. I think that's pretty much about the Dynamo. It's very, very easy. I just want to give you a very simple one here so that you can try them for your project, so you don't have to get confused here. The other thing that I want to show you is that I just want to show you for the Dynamo for CV3, these two things that you might be useful for you if you want to have a go and a learn. This is where I think I have a pretty basic on how you can use the Dynamo for CV3 tutorial. So you can see that you can either change the multiple size using the Dynamo. You can also swap the multiple part size. That might be more advanced than what I have shared for today. So I'm just going to share that one inside the chat board. Hopefully that can be helpful for you. And then another one here is also the similar one, the one that a very for mundane CV3 that you can learn. There is much more reference that we have inside the Autodesk CV3 and also inside the knowledge to Autodesk here. So if you want to go and give a try, feel free to. It's very easy, I would say. And once you get to done that, you can have a good day. And then another one is that if you see over here on the Dynamo, we also have the packages. Packages is basically the instructions that have been created by the other user. So let's say that you want to create them, but you cannot find any instruction here. For instance, you want to rotate certain element inside your CV3D, but there is no instruction when you search for those rotate. There is no one, the one that you want to have them. For instance, you want them to rotate according to what you selected. So you can find all those inside the package. The package is basically the instruction that created by the other user, and it's very free for the other user to use them as well. All right. That's pretty much for everything. I'm just going to end to part today very early. Thank you everyone for joining us. But let me just go, just now I mentioned I have done the tutorial Dynamo for Revit. So let's say that you want to see them, you can go to our YouTube channel here. I have done the 2 or 3 script for Revit, if I'm not mistaken. So if you click on the search here, Revit Dynamo, okay, you have a very similar workflow. You can see them on these automate repetitive work as well in Revit by using the Dynamo. You have the same workflow. The difference is only when you're using the CV3D, you can access the AutoCAD and CV3D. On the Revit, you will find this on you will find a Revit instruction. All right. I think I'm going to let everyone go for now. Is there any questions for today? Thank you everyone for joining us on this evening. Thank you and have a nice day.